Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Graham, and today I am here with my show that I do every single Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm here today to talk to you about one of my favorite patches. This is the Aeon patch. Some people say Aeon, it's the Aeon patch. And I think that this is one of Lifewave's most underrated patches. So if you haven't heard of Lifewave patches, these are actually patches that you put on your body, and they work through a process called photobiomodulation. If you think about something like the way that your body uses sunlight to produce vitamin D, this is a different mechanism, but these patches have a specific pattern on them, and they support different processes in your body, things that your body would naturally do, but sometimes they help it to do those things even better. They're very, very supportive. Now, a lot of people see this patch, and because there isn't that much information on the website, it can be a little bit confusing when you think about who might need Aeon, who might benefit from Aeon. So today, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I incorporate this patch in. If you don't know, I'm a Lifewave brand partner, which means not only have I used the patches for quite a long time, but I also consult with different folks as they decide what patches they would like to use, and I educate people and help them choose the right thing for their body and the things that I think might make the most significant changes and help them to solve some problems that they may have and reach their goals. Now, first of all, what I want to say is this is probably one of the most common patches that I am starting my clients and my customers with, and I tend to pair it with the X39. If someone has incredible health and they just really want to, like, think about it as if your body was a car. It's already running really well. You take it in for yearly service. This might be the only patch that I give to someone. Let's look at your body as if it's a car. Say your body has a few dents, it's not running as well as you would like it to. You have any conditions or symptoms. To me, it doesn't really matter what those things are because these are not a treatment and I'm not giving medical advice. However, if someone does have symptoms of anything, I'm probably going to pair the Aeon and the X39. And you might wonder why I would do that. Max says you've been taking them for 5 days and you don't feel, I think you mean you don't feel any better. 5 days is not a long time with the patches, and you should watch some of my other videos because these patches, and I say this again and again, I set the expectations. These are not going to, most people will not be feeling these in 5 days. In the clinical trials that they did, it was usually about 3 to 6 weeks in, and they are for wellness and vitality. So I would definitely give your patches a lot longer. One of the things that Lifewave usually suggests is that you do a month of this patch for every decade that you are old. So I am 48 years old, which means that for me to receive the most, I guess, maximum benefits, I'd be looking at about 5 months. So definitely not 5 days. I know you hear a lot of stuff on the internet. I know there are people, even amongst my customers and my clients, that they might feel a reduction in discomfort or extreme discomfort within a few days. But I will tell you, I have hundreds and hundreds of customers, and most people do not feel it right away. And the things that they feel initially tend to be more subtle, like just very gentle increases in energy. Perhaps they're able to recall words more easily. They find that their short-term memory is working better. They have less brain fog. So I would say that the things you're going to notice initially are a lot more subtle than most people are expecting. So I made some notes because I really wanted to tell you the reason that Aeon was created. Lifewave created this patch. They designed it because they wanted to help to reduce stress. So this patch was actually designed to help reduce stress. And if you think about it, we've all become accustomed to having so much stress in our lives, and we think it's normal. When I was working, I was extreme. When I was working in the salon, rather, I'm still working, but my job, I'm a brand partner with Lifewave, and I don't find it to be stressful. I find it to be enjoyable, so I have less stress. That said, most of us have a lot of stress in our lives. It starts to accumulate, and many of us get into a constantly stressed out state. I know that was how I felt when I worked at my hair salon. I pretended I wasn't stressed, but I was extremely stressed every single day that I went to work. I was back to back with clients, and it was hard to control. So, what this patch was designed to do, it was helped to reduce stress. And what I just want to back up into is Lifewave as a company, their actual mission and their goal is to stop and prevent aging. So, why would they design a patch that is meant to reduce stress? Well, stress, chronic stress, high stress levels are known to be one of the worst things for our body, for our health. If we have chronic stress, we tend to wind up with chronic inflammation. And these two things together, chronic stress and inflammation, can lead to a whole host of other issues. I won't get into all the diagnoses that can happen, but I know that when my inflammation was off the charts, I had it done with blood tests and it was extremely high. I was actually at risk of having a stroke at one time, high risk of having a stroke, which is hard to imagine because when you look at me, it doesn't, I don't think I appear to be at high risk for that, but at one time I was. So these are designed to actually bring your body back into balance. So whether you have very, very high levels of stress, they're designed to actually help and support healthy stress levels instead of out of control stress levels. And on the other hand, if you are too relaxed, almost in a depressed or freeze state, I don't know if anyone's ever felt like that before, where you almost can't get going, you can't make decisions. These are also meant to bring you back into balance. So different people, depending on where they are with their natural mental and physical state, are going to feel different when they wear this patch because we all have unique bodies, and this Aeon patch is actually working with your body to bring it back into a state of balance, which I might add sometimes can feel a little bit foreign. So if people have been very high stress and they're actually brought into balance, sometimes they feel a little bit tired. It feels different than what they're actually used to. And if they are in a freeze state and they're not really having a lot of energy in that state, they can actually feel that they have more energy. So I find when I have clients use this, some people are going to find that they have more energy. So I recommend that they use it during the day. Other people might feel tired. So say you try this during the day and you feel a little bit tired, try to wear it at night instead. It will make a big difference for you. So this is a really interesting thing. If we want to preserve our youthfulness and we want to have longevity, we actually need to keep stress under control. And I know this probably doesn't sound like the most glamorous thing, and maybe people don't get that excited about controlling their stress, but they also may not know what it feels like to be back in that relaxed state, which is just healthier for your body. It's conducive to all sorts of healing. So we want to put our bodies into that state. If we don't, every single organ of our body, every process in our body is affected by stress. So I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but that is the value of reducing your stress is you are putting your body into a better healing state. It is going to help you to have healthier levels of inflammation. Overall, it's really important. Now, some signs that some people might get, and they might just think, oh, this is so normal. This is just how I should feel. If you are constantly fatigued, if you have a lot of tension, for instance, I used to have tension that just ran down my neck right here, and I was constantly hurting myself because I was so stressed out, or if you're getting a lot of headaches, these things can be a sign of stress. They could be for other reasons as well, but if you're constantly experiencing these things, you could have high levels of stress, and it's possible you could feel better. Now, one thing to realize is that stress is something that is actually going to accumulate. and it is going to build up over time. So you might have stress and you might think, I can manage this. It's not going to be a big deal. This is exactly how I felt when I was working in my hair salon. I thought, I'm stressed out and I don't even feel happy day to day, but you know what? It's going to get better and it will be fine. Unfortunately, that was really building up in my body and causing some damage. So that chronic stress wasn't good for me. And of course, we can do other things outside of wearing patches to control stress. You know, we can stay off our devices late at night. We can try not to watch the news every day, which can be really stressful. We can give ourselves enough rest time. There are also some supplements that some folks use to reduce stress. But all in all, anything that we can do to reduce stress is helpful overall to our bodies. If you are listening and you enjoy this, I would so appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It makes such a big difference when you hit the thumbs up symbol. I think it's at the top. And also, just so you know, if you go into my links, if you are not a Lifewave customer and you would like more information, you would like some help with these patches, I'm happy to, you can send me an email and I can help you out. You can also find links to order patches always through me as well. Just so you understand how that works, if you order through me, that makes me your brand partner, so I am your point of contact. I have actually recently started a private, exclusive Facebook group for all of my clients and customers as well. So I do send out an invite to that. It's a great place to share information. I post a lot of videos there, and people do show up there to ask questions, etc., which I really enjoy. And Jenny says, I heard you say that we can wear the Aeon at night. Yes, you absolutely can wear the Aeon at night. I wear this frequently at night. I wear it right behind my right ear. That's my favorite placement. It's not a placement that is shown by Lifewave, but it is one that I really like, and I feel that it is great for brain balancing. And Ashlyn, hello. Thank you so much for saying hi. I love it when you guys join in the chat. And also feel free to just jump into that chat and ask any questions that you have as well. And let's see, it says on X39 and Aeon for the last month. That is awesome. I'm glad that you're on that combination. Did you choose those patches for yourself or did someone choose them for you? I'm always curious how you came up with that combination. It is one of my favorites. And I just think so many folks would benefit from this. And it doesn't sound like the most exciting patch, but I have so many people that I've signed up for this that just find themselves feeling so much better in so many ways. Their energy levels are better. Many people have decreased discomfort. They feel more comfortable. Their bodies just feel better overall. So it's a really interesting thing. But anyway, so that is why I love the Aeon patch. So for me personally, I started with this patch because I have quite a few different conditions and I was really sick when I started using the patches. I do other things. These are definitely not the only thing I do. And I always stress that to everyone. These are one of my tools in my toolkit, but I do a lot of healthy things and I do take care of my health because I completely lost my health. And it was to the point where my memory wasn't working. I wasn't able to get out of bed many days and I wasn't really living anymore. So I do a lot of different things, but this was the way that I started. And I was also getting better from mold toxicity, which is known to cause a lot of stress and, let's just say, emotional dysregulation. So really inflammation and high stress levels. And so I found these patches together to be a great way for me to start gently and supporting my body through all of the other things that I was doing. I always stress that that's not the only thing that I did because I had a lot to deal with. So just curious if anybody has anything that they would like to add. I love this patch. I wish that more people would start with this patch. I think that when people have any kind of diagnosed condition, I don't have to mention what they are. If they start with these patches together, for the most part, they are going to have better results and feel better the entire time. What I would like to add is I don't need to wear this as often as I wore it in the beginning. So I wore this a lot when I first started the patches, and now I do not wear them as frequently as I used to. And it says, my uncle sent them to me, found you and used both together under navel and Aeon on right ankle. Do you think I would do better to change Aeon at night on right ear? I really don't know. So that's the thing. They are so individual. What I would say is just try it and see how you feel, because everybody's body is different. So I can't really say. And for a lot of people that I tend to work with, I usually chat with them. A lot of times people might get on the phone with me before I learn a little bit about them, and I can recommend a little bit more, but it's really hard on the internet. I can't really say what will work for you or what won't. But I will say is that you can try it both ways and see how you feel, and you will know. You will know which one you like more. And Ashlyn says, what is the chemical in the patches called? So Ashlyn, there is not a chemical in these patches. I don't know if you've seen my videos before, but these patches work through the process of phototherapy. So these are not transdermal patches. These patches, you can't really see it just because of the light, and also the backing is on the patch. These patches have a specific pattern on them. It's a specific crystal pattern made with sugar, salts, and amino acids, none of which go into your body. It forms a specific crystal structure and pattern, and that pattern reflects light in a specific way back into your body. So each patch has a different pattern, and that pattern initiates different processes in your body. And so the X39 is a completely different story. I do have a video up about that one. But the Aeon patch is different than the X39. So there are several different patches that Lifewave has. I don't necessarily wind up recommending all the patches to different people. For the most part, I think most people need the X39. That is the most important patch. But if there are other issues, that's when I add the Aeon. I mean, there are so many things that I think this is good for. It's an amazing patch. And it says you usually wake up with headaches every morning, and fibro pain. And you said you've been using those patches for the last month. So interesting. Yes. I'm sorry that you have that. I totally understand. Autoimmune stuff is definitely tricky. I have my own autoimmune issues, and they've definitely gotten much better, but I still have a ways to go. But I'm just happy to be walking, driving, doing chores around the house, cooking with my husband, making videos for you guys. And there was quite a period of time where, if you look at my YouTube, I wasn't really on YouTube, and it's because I just couldn't sit up, and I could sit up for a few minutes, but I feel like my first YouTube videos where I was back, it seemed like I was just like propped up trying to have the energy to speak and to be animated. And now I just have so much more of that. So just curious if anybody has any more Aeon questions. I just think this is the most underrated patch in all of Lifewave. And especially, not saying that you should necessarily use this. It's not your treatment for any condition. But what I will say is that when we can work to get inflammation and stress levels into a healthy range, it's amazing how much better our bodies feel instantly. So I was actually at an appointment this morning, a holistic care appointment that I went to, and I was chatting with the gals that run the place. And we were chatting a little bit about the patches. I happened to have some in my bag. And so I gave them a few samples. And one gal put this on. She has quite a bit of chronic pain. And she was one of those people that did notice right away that there was a change. And so some people are, I will say, it can be disappointing for people that don't feel that kind of response immediately, but it's so fascinating to see how some people respond so much more quickly than others. Whether people feel it or not, as soon as you put the patch on your body, it is creating changes. I think it's about being in tune with the subtleties and realizing that a lot of times we're looking for one thing to change. We're looking for, we want this one particular thing to change. Like, say you have a shoulder injury and you'd like to see that change, but maybe you have more energy to go to the gym and you're not making excuses anymore, or you wake up feeling more refreshed, or you start sleeping more hours. Those are some of the changes that people sometimes have from the patches. And because they're not really taking it slow and checking in and seeing how they're feeling, and they're looking for that one specific thing, they automatically feel like they're not feeling better. I spoke to a client recently and she had been using the X39 for, I think it was about a month. And she said, I'm sticking with it, but I don't really feel that many changes. And I said, well, how is your overall mood? How's your overall mood? How's your sleep? Do you feel like you're getting more things done and you're less tired at the end of the day? And she was like, actually, yes, I do. I feel all of that stuff. But sometimes those changes are so subtle that we're not looking for them. And I think the important thing to realize is that those changes are subtle, they accumulate. So month by month, you find yourself getting more and more changes, and they start accumulating like money in the bank. And hello, it's so nice to see you. It says, hi, Megan, just wondering how the Aeon patch can help with my osteoarthritis. So I am not allowed to answer anything. So the FDA does not allow anyone that has anything to do with Lifewave to answer any questions according to conditions. So you can speak about symptoms, but as far as conditions, I can't. And that's why I never answer those questions. The FDA, because these are labeled that they're not treatments and they're not cures, we can't really say what they are for. But what I can say is that it goes back to what I was talking about, that I don't care what someone's condition is. It actually doesn't matter if you have a condition of any sort, symptoms, that you add this patch, and it's dealing with giving you supporting healthier levels of inflammation and healthier stress levels. So what I can say is that across the board is always good for our bodies and is always helpful regardless of the condition. But I'm not allowed to answer back to any diagnoses at all. So that's why if you ever come on my YouTube, people will always come on and they'll say, I have this, what should I use? I have that. And when I speak to people on the phone and things like that, I really always just more so find out how they're feeling. So a diagnosis of any sort is really just a collection of symptoms. That's how we diagnose. And I don't diagnose anyone because I am certainly not a medical doctor, not able to do so. I guess my gift of going through my own health challenges is that I did learn certain things. And as far as basically knowing which patches people would most likely respond to, that is what I know. But I would definitely say that you would like that patch. I cannot comment on it as it pertains to your condition, but it is a great patch. So basically, anytime anyone has a condition in their body that they feel is unfavorable, I add the Aeon patch to the X39. And these are something that people can start wearing together immediately. So I know I always talk about the fact that we don't want to add too many patches too quickly, but these patches work very, very well together. And they were actually recommended to me by my doctor originally. And I was just going to do this patch. And then she said, you have a lot going on with all your conditions. So she had me add this one as well. And it was a really good call. For some people that might occasionally need to take a few days off or go a little slower with the X39, many of them still wind up wearing the Aeon. Does anybody have any other questions? I would love to hear from you if you do. And just a reminder, if you are signed up for patches with me, if you're a brand partner or a customer, I did just start a private Facebook. So please feel free to write me if you would like an invitation to that. Also, if you are interested in learning more about the patches and you don't have a brand partner, feel free to email me. I would love to help you out to choose your patches. I always feel that one of the things that makes me feel better about all of the health struggles that I've gone through is that I can use that knowledge and that experience to help other people hopefully increase their health and vitality a little bit sooner than later. So the last thing actually that I wanted to bring up as well, and this isn't even about the patches, but I got this from watching a great video of David Schmidt's. And if you don't know David Schmidt, he's the creator of these patches. And I just think he's a beautiful human being. He is awesome. And one thing that he reminded me of, and I think I always have to bring myself back to this, is that a natural and free way to reduce our stress is to operate from a place of love, to give other people grace, to be kind to other people. And another thing that this wasn't directly from what he said, but I believe that when we practice gratefulness every single day, and we let go of entitlement and what everybody else should do for us, and we just feel grateful for what we have, that is also a really wonderful stress reliever and something free. And free is great. If you can do something free that's healthy for your body, like go out in the sunshine or walk on the ground, free things are great as well. So I always really enjoy seeing all of you here. If you are part of my community of people that are signed up with me, definitely write me so I can send you a link to my new Facebook page. I'm doing videos on there that I'm not putting on YouTube, just for my community, and answering more questions there and such. So join me over there as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. It is always such a pleasure. Tried to hit as many points as I could, but basically this is one of my top most favorite patches, very supportive, very gentle, and I've had great results with a lot of my clients. So stay healthy, stay beautiful, and check out my links if you need them that are in the description of this video.